Yo, what's up, guys? Damnation-n-Hellfire here. Today, I think I'm going to call myself Dirk the Daring, since we're in the middle of Dragon's Lair raid. So, of course, I got Ross Crow with me, as always.
Good evening, everyone.
And we also got Doomsday Rebel.
How's it going, everybody?
So, how's your raid going so far at this point, guys?
Going well. It's going pretty smooth.
Ross, you said you're pretty much done, right?
I am. I loaded up a Grease Monkey crew right off the bat. And, well, I tested the targets first, and then I just loaded a crew and went right at it. And I ended up knocking out 100 million in 2 hours.
Nice.
Nice. Travis?
Well, I just actually got off work. I hit a 104 while I was at work, and I melted that thing with my bat rays. Then I went into a 106, and I got over 3 hours of damage. And so I'm just starting out, so I got to fill it out some more. But yeah, that first run it hurt.
Gotcha. Yeah, they can. I've noticed that it definitely sometimes in these targets it depends on how you approach them. Like I'm at this point, I'm at 90 million. I think I've only spent like 13 coins or something.
Oh.
I'm pretty happy with where I'm at and how I'm doing. Yeah, I've just been going in the S sets obviously and driving them out and getting my points that way. I mean, it's been a pretty pleasant raid for me so far, but I have noticed that there's certain ways you can approach the targets that if you do it one way, you'll take a whole lot more damage than if you do it the other way. Like I forget which target it is, if it's the 104 and 106, but it has two groups up at ships up at the top, and then it has like a big ass group down at the bottom.
Yeah,
I found the easiest way for me to go is go up and engage the top groups of ships independently first. And then once I'm about done killing the second group of ships at the top, some of the bottom boats actually activate and start coming up. So then I'm able to kill those before I can have to engage the big group down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I tried it engaging the group at the bottom once first. Oh, that didn't end well. I took like twice as much damage.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know because I have been actually engaging the bottom. So you're taking the top out first, straight at.
Yeah, it's the top where there's just the two groups of ships and they're like kind of two separate groups or whatever. Yeah, I always engage those first, and I find that I end up taking a lot less damage because I'm engaging less ships at the same time. So less ships obviously are shooting at me then.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but let me get some screen sharing going. We'll talk about all the stuff that's going on in Battle Pirates. There's a lot of stuff, so we'll get on it. First thing, they had a poll up for, what is one thing you hate most about Battle Pirates? And, they had our options for like the chores, repair time, build time, getting sniped, content overload, all that stuff. At the point where I took this screenshot, and I found this extremely interesting. Because considering all the talk we've been having about sniping and all the yelling and screaming that's been going on about sniping over the past, 2 months, I would say, if not longer, 4% of the people in the overall picture said getting sniped was what they hated the most about Battle Pirates. I just thought that number, with all the yelling and screaming and crying we've been hearing about it over the past few months, that number I thought would have been a whole lot higher, which leads me to what I've said all along, that getting sniped isn't the problem. It's the repair time, as you can see, which is 45% people voted for that. It's the repair time from getting sniped is the bigger problem than actually getting sniped itself.
Exactly.
And I've said that from the very beginning, So.
Right. There you go. Yeah, and actually, Bacon almost, is neck and neck with getting sniped. So that just goes to show you, really.
Yeah, even Bacon apparently is on the downhill slide. So,
because obviously players, they like to battle, even if it is a sniping situation. But the downfall, like the repercussion of the repair time, in the end. So
exactly, the sniping is just a part of the issue. I mean, the real issue though is the repair time. If the repair time wasn't wasn't a problem, the sniping would go away. I mean, sniping wouldn't be bothersome. It might not go away. It will never go away. There's always those type of players, but it wouldn't put you out of the game for a day.
Yeah.
Exactly. If we had the same repair times on our chore fleets that we had on our PvP fleets, yeah, you might get sniped. Yeah, you might not be able to defend yourself, but guess what? You're only going to be down for like, a couple hours at that point. Whereas now, like you said, we're down for almost a whole day.
Yeah.
So I found that extremely interesting to see that number was such a low percentage. I guess the people who really have a problem with it are just extremely very loud and very vocal. You know what they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So
yeah, it's true though. If it is true that I've been seeing, well, even Kixeye are going to do something about it. So it goes to show, I wish with those same 4% would concentrate on repair times. Man, we could use you in our.
We could use you in that battle we've been fighting for 6.5 years now.
It's the truth. Yeah, really, it's the truth.
And then they had done a post about just November stuff that was coming up. Of course, we got Dragon's Lair going right up now with where we're getting the Proto Apollo. They're also talking about the PvP adjustments are on the horizon, and there's Bounty 16 is going to be a PvP hull store. So all that stuff, like Travis, I'm sure you'll be all over this because all those PvP polls people missed out on. It sounds like this is going to be your chance to go back and pick them up, and we might even see an increase in capacity on some of the holes. I would almost think at that point, like witch doctors, maybe you'll finally be able to have 5. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Part of me feels great about it. Part of me is like, no, The part of me who'll be getting hit by him is thinking no, and the part of me who'll be trying to do some hitting with him is like yes. So, and they're also talking about a new wave of defense upgrades that are going to be available in the Outpost 11 PvP update. So I'm assuming what they're talking about there is when we, the second half of the OP 11, when we get the walls and we get the turrets and we actually get more health added on to the OP itself, I would assume. So,
and maybe land. We don't know, right?
Maybe land. Yeah, we don't know about that. So that's just a look of what's coming up for the rest of the month. And then they also were talking about the PvP sector consolidation. There's a lot of text here. I'm not going to read it all, obviously, because that would put everybody to sleep, and we're not trying to do that. But I am going to go through and highlight some of the stuff. They're going to be reaping all the inactive bases, and they're going to be putting their software back online that takes care of that at regular intervals. The NPC target spawners, they're increasing the number of NPC targets that distribute on the world map so that stuff that spawns around your base, like your FM targets and stuff, apparently is not going to change. But targets that go around the SSRBs are going to spawn more frequently. The NPC target size update, which we've already seen, there's the FM target that we had on the map were like huge and went across. They were bigger than player bases actually, are now been all consolidated down, and they're a nice little tight compact thing. And that's happened with a lot of the targets actually. Just the FM one is the most noticeable because they're the most littered across the map. Let's see, and of course throughout all that, they're going to be doing a lot of load testing because everybody's big concern is once you start condensing us like this, there's going to be tons and tons of lag. So apparently they're going to be doing tons of testing while they're implementing this to make sure that, everything doesn't break. So they start talking about preparing yourself for the big move, position yourself for the move. Yeah, okay, just kind of stay with your people that you want to be relocated with, because that's when you're supposed to be relocated with the people that are in proximity of you when this all happens. They're going to turn off expeditions 3 days ahead of time, so when expeditions aren't available anymore, 3 days from now it's coming. Right before they're going to be auto docking your fleets. That way, you don't get relocated and shit's out on the map, and suddenly next thing you know, you lost the fleet because it's in a whole separate world and can't even get to you. Bookmarks, they wanted to leave everybody. They wanted to let everybody have their bookmarks, but it's just not possible. So, guess what? you're going to have to redo all those marks for your jumping of sectors that you want to do. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. So there's currently 5 worlds with 100 sectors. Now we're going to be going to 5 worlds with 20 sectors. Well, let's talk about that one. How compact do you think this is going to be?
Well, it just depends on if they keep the same size or not. Are they going to increase the, you know, the coordinate size of each sector? That's always a possibility.
My understanding is the sectors themselves are going to get a little bit larger.
Okay.
Now, how much larger, I'm not sure, but I have heard that I think they are going to be getting bigger. I'll be honest, this went like way above what I thought they were going to do for the sector consolidation. I was expecting like worlds to be cut in half, not to be cut into a fifth of what we currently have. Right. I don't know.
But at the same time, it from a design point, it kind of makes sense because there's just so much stuff in each world and each sector. If they tried to really, really cut it down, then, you know, that's all that information that has to be transferred. Whereas if they do it, you know, like you said, as a fifth, it's more manageable and probably works better on server load, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I just would have thought they would have done it like in half first to see, and then if that was still too big, then maybe go another step. Yeah. But boy, they really they picked all the low-hanging fruit, I guess you would say. So, what do you think, Ross?
It just concerns me. And in all honesty, that I didn't want to be negative going into the bounty. I mean, not the bounty, the event here, but like my main problem in the event here is the lack of targets. Truly, totally lack of targets. I lost over half my crew. Truly, and that's for sure. Just trying to look at a screen that said no targets. There was absolutely none available. It wasn't that I was getting even beat to them. There's none, and so I just don't think there's enough out there now. And then to have us all jammed up, even more people, who we're going to need a different. You know, I don't want them to be going by this amount of targets is okay because this amount is really not okay, and then to base it on that, we're going to end up with it multiplied, the same problem multiplied, and that's just a concern for me, like just lack of raid targets, appropriate raid targets.
Yeah, I know. I think it was George had posted on Discord today a picture of what you're talking about, the target locator saying no targets available. And I myself said at that point, well, that makes me a little concerned with the compacted sector consolidation on the horizon. We're having that kind of problem now. So yeah, pretty much the same thing you just said.
You know, what I would like to see is, you know, everything spawns so randomly across the map. It always has. I always thought they should pick a location, put several targets, you know, in a big group. And that way you don't have to move. People rush up there. They sit there. There's 50 targets. You know, you just sit there all day and do your raid. It's done.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess
be a lot of battle.
I guess if you have 30 people all sitting in the same spot waiting for all these targets, though, you're still going to run into the same problem.
Yeah,
but if you spread them out through the sector, you know, say you have you break it up into quadrants where, you know, it equals out per base, like you know, there's a set here, a set there, a set on the other end, east, west, whatever, and I don't know, just an idea anyway.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm just like, you know, if you're going to end up with, say, for example, 300 active players in a sector now, and you're going to have like, you know, 4 or 5 or even 10 of these spawn points, you're going to have like 30 people at each of these spawn points, say, if you have like 10 of them. Yeah. I still see, you know, there being a lack of target problem there.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Probably bring
definitely
up
room,
sniping campers.
but like now there should be a 100 target at every single drac base, in my opinion, and to travel over a minute to or go through towers even to search for one of two targets is silly for me. I mean, if I'm going for 10 and maybe I need a certain number a four, and I just can't find any four, I'm okay with traveling a minute for the 4 type situation. But when we're dealing with 2 targets for the completion, and even if they are on the map, they're not. They're nowhere close. So that's a problem.
Yeah, it don't
And
make
like,
sense.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Travis.
I was gonna say there's just so many 80s everywhere, but they can't populate the 100s. It's kind of it doesn't make sense to me.
I know the one thing I myself am going to miss too is quiet sectors. I liked having a quiet sector here and there where like hardly nobody was at, where I could just go and be left alone for like a week or so if I felt like it, And like with all this consolidation, I don't think we're going to see many quiet sectors anymore.
Well, and that was a good point there you're saying, because I have a question on it. Will these be full sectors? You know what I mean? Because now will we be able to, how much fuller will we be able to pack them than they do when they do the relocations? When people start to move around, some could get a lot more packed. I mean, I want to know how packed they really can get, or are they going to fill them? Because if they fill them, I guess they're always going to be full, all sectors, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point we just really don't know, and we're gonna have to wait. Like I said, I have heard something about sector sizes are going to be increased, even though there's going to be less sectors. The sectors themselves are going to be bigger, but how much bigger, I don't know.
Yeah.
So like the sector size doubles from what it is now, it might not be a problem. But
Right.
if the sector only gets 5 squares bigger on both sides, well then yeah, it's going to be a problem. So. Yeah, but definitely look into target spawn rates, guys, because I know that is a big concern for all of us. But anyway, so after the first day that they move everybody into where they're going to put you, for the next 7 days, you're going to be able to relocate once a day for a week. And that way you can get kind of positioned where you want to be and get all your people to you that you want to get. You can go test out different places, jump to a world, and after a day, you're like, wow, this place sucks. These people are like really troll-like in comms. I don't want to be here. So, you don't have to wait a full week. The next day you can jump right away. And they'll give you a week to kind of get settled on where you want to move into. And then after that, relocate and just go back to normal. They're probably going to be a couple of hours without chat when all this goes down. The sector threat levels, they're going to leave them the same for now, but they're going to be watching them to see if they think they need to adjust them. And the BP app is going to be having its map functionality disabled while the relocate is going, which makes sense.
Sounds good.
Dragon's Lair. Oh, wait. Sorry. I mean, Dragon's Lair. My bad. Obviously,
play that now.
I know, right? Yeah, I was like, when I saw the name of the raid, I was like, oh, Dirk the Daring. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Dragon's Lair was a hugely popular game back in the 1980s because it wasn't even like a video game. It was more like you were actually like living a cartoon when you were playing the game. It was like totally awesome. If you never saw it or played it, I'd definitely recommend you go check it out. It was like groundbreaking, oh my god, technology for its time.
Oh, it was for sure. It was the game to play.
Yeah, I remember I could never make it over that first thing where the bridge started crumbling and you had to jump. I died there. I don't know how many times, but I didn't care because, like I said, it was just like watching a cartoon, and it was worth putting that quarter in just to get to that spot to die.
and yeah, just to watch the graphics, actually.
It was crazy. Honestly, to this day, I'm not sure I've ever run across a video game that to me was as like fascinating as what that was for its time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, our Dragon's Lair that we're doing currently right now in this game, it started today, obviously, and it's going to go till Monday at 9 a.m. kicks time. And then you'll have an extra 24 hours after the raid ends for the store to end. So there you go. You got your tier 8 sets, and that's the 104 and the 106. They're 2.5 million piece. And the tier 8, 106, you can get the hydrofoil tack shielded shard, and in 104, you can get the hydro atomizer nozzle shard, and we'll be talking more about those later. Of course, tier 7, you got your 3 targets in there. Tier 6, you got 3 targets in there. And then for tier 5, you got the lonely little level 41 target. And then, so that's your sets. And another, well, I'll cover that later. Blitz targets, you got the level 89 and level 69. You can blitz them. If you want to buy your raid, as I like to call it, you can hit them and get your points that way. The tier 8 targets are locked to the tier 7 holes, so that'll only be Bat Rays and Razor Tails. Nothing else is locked, and there are no hit down multipliers. So I'm really glad to see they've gotten rid of that kind of stuff for people who might be a high level but might not have the tech because they don't have the time to play or whatever reasons they don't have the tech and they have to hit down. I'm glad to see that once again they no point for people. Your tier 8 targets are attuned to a full fleet with a legendary with your flagship. Tier 7 are attuned to a full fleet of legendary Bat Rays and Razor 2s without the flagship. Tier 6 is for a full fleet of legendary hunters. Tier 5 is for a full fleet of legendary Tide Seekers. And as the Proto Apollo is a standalone hull, expert build is available for it right out of the gate. We will be monitoring the impact this has on gameplay. So congratulations to those of you people who had 16 days to not build any ships, or luckily enough had enough tokens to do it, or in the case of you mega whales out there, just coined your dot or your shipyard rather. Congratulations, you can now get expert build for your Proto Apollos, but I don't know too many people who had that shipyard up to that level yet.
No, I mean, who has 16 days to take it out of the game with the way the campaigns are running? I'll play it smart. Just wait for some tokens to come out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I might be in a different position because I'm gonna get the Proto Apollo, but I don't know that I plan on building it. So I might actually have a month where I really don't have a whole lot going on as far as building stuff. So I might actually have time to upgrade my shipyard during that time. I don't know. Let's wait and see.
Right.
But okay, you got, of course, now we're into the store. I'm not going to cover everything in the store. I'm just going to highlight the stuff I know I myself am interested in. Well, of course, there is the Poseidon's Hurricane, which is a new PvP flagship that's in there for 45 million. It's new. I myself am not really that interested in it. The Reconstruction Matrix, you can claim 3 of those for 10 million points. I'm definitely interested in those. The CTCO 2-plate, definitely interested in that. 15 million. That seemed a little bit pricey to me, but not like outside the realm of possibilities. Of course, those of you who don't have your flags yet, you can get them in here. I know the next things I'm really interested in. I missed out on the Revenant, the Zip Drive, and the Havoc Gatling gun the first time they came out, so I'm definitely interested in picking them up. I actually plan on probably getting all 5 Revenants, and then the weapon and the special to go with it. The lockdown rockets, still, again, for people who don't have lockdown rockets, they're kind of pricey in my opinion, but they are really good for I really enjoy them in PvP because, it really slows down your attacker as they're trying to barrel roll your base. Anything you guys see on there that interests you that I didn't touch on?
No, I might probably build a Poseidon Hurricane just to see what how it affects the other ships. But I'm with you on the rest.
Cool.
The Poseidon, it's a dual flagship, right? It can work with 2 different hulls.
Yeah, like all the ones that we've had in the past already. We had the one that went for the Onslaught and the MSC, and then we had the one that went for the what other two boats was the Ifrit and the what? Help me out here, Ross. Impact Cruise.
Impact.
Yeah.
Now, don't for you old time players, when you see this Poseidon Hurricane, it is not for Hurricane fleet.
Yeah, right. That'd be funny.
In all honesty, when I saw that, I'm like, whoa, really? Drones are back.
Yeah, man, we're bringing back like 5-year-old tech and making it useful again. Yeah, that's what we're doing. The Tier 7 lock store, I'm interested in the build tokens for the Bat Ray and the Razor Tail. Bat Ray, so I can finish building out my Bat Rays, because I'm going to have a full fleet of Bat Rays by the time I'm done, but I'm not spending any time on them whatsoever. I'm just building them slowly here and there with tokens. So, Razor Tails, I want tokens in case I have to do refits and stuff. And then you got all your normal shards, and for those of you desperate for base parts, titanium and uranium, you can get some here with your valuable raid points.
Right. And it's just lacking in the shard department. I mean, not shards, lacking in the token department for Tier 7. It's really light, it seems.
Yeah, it is. Like, I would have kind of thought we would have seen some PvP tokens in there maybe, but who knows, probably odds are tomorrow or Saturday they'll add some more stuff to the store anyway, like they always do. So maybe we'll see some of them. Of course, in Tier 6 and Unlocked, if you don't have the Bat Ray and all that stuff, or the Razor Tail and all that stuff already, you can pick it up here. Like I said, I plan on getting the Apollo, the Proto Apollo, and all that stuff. I don't know that I'll actually ever build it, but I do want to have it just in case. The only thing that might make me tempted to build it is just because I remember the original Apollos were so much fun to drive.
Oh yeah.
You got the Greta's Inferno Dragon is in there for people who don't have it yet. I think the price tag's kind of high on it, but that's me. Agility Systems. CTCO Plate 1 if you don't have that already. Custom Payload 2. I think those are my highlights for that list.
But that Greta is really an important hull. Inferno Dragon that really could change somebody's game if they're able to pull that off.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just like, I don't know, that 40 million price tag for it at this point is like way too much in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard. That's hard, but it's a great haul.
Yeah, I mean, anybody, it's been out for quite a while now. So, the people who don't have it are probably the same people that are going to really struggle extremely hard getting 40 million points at the raid.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. The same people. So.
But see, I haven't built my dragons yet. I don't have the Greta. I know they're, an upgrade to, explosive fleets, but I can grind out, what I need with my icebreaker. So I'm honestly considering just waiting till the next cycle of FM ships, however long it is, because I can do what I can do now.
Yeah, I always get worried though, because at one point are they going to shift everything else down and bring out a new thing, and then you're going to be sitting there with your thumb up your ass, not being able to do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On this part of the list, I forgot to green this one, but the Sinful Scatterguns, I definitely recommend that, especially anybody who picked up Gluttonies in the last bounty that didn't have them before. Oh my gosh, Sinful Scatterguns on your Gluttonies, that'll change the way you look at bounty for sure.
Yeah, and we're talking damage-free bounties.
Yep. As long as you remember that subsurface and keep an eye on that timer.
Yeah.
Of course, and then the Tier 6 lock part, which, unlocks after you claim anything in the regular Tier 6. Again, I'm looking at the one-day build tokens in there for the Bat Ray and the Razor Tail. Of course, you got your shards like we always have in there, and, Tier 5 unlock stuff. I didn't really highlight anything on this because I know for me that's nothing in here I'm interested in. But for those who don't have it, Explosive System 4, definitely a good one.
The Shield Attack Systems 3 is a good one for those that don't have it. There's other things, specials out there that can do similar, but it's still a good one.
Fangtooths, I don't find them to be extremely useful in the game for anything at the moment.
I only use them for the 200s for turning the sector threat. And that's the only use that I use my Fangtooths at the currently.
I mean, they can, I guess, still be used to hit the current uranium map targets, but those, as we know, well, after this raid cycle, will be getting transferred. So, Hunter MK1, I guess, you know, if you're down at that lower level that you don't have it, that might be a good thing to pick up. And then, of course, for anything that you get, any of the stuff in that tier that you get, you can pick up build tokens for the Fangtooth, the Hunter, the Phantom Fangtooth, Apex Hunter, and then more shards. So, Proto Apollo, go, Travis.
All right, the Proto Apollo, it is a an upgrade of the the previous Apollo, and it, as it says here, it's has a high speed assault combat, and it has the acceleration ability that provides bonuses and turning speeds as the hull continues to move. So keep in mind, if you stop, you're going to lose your acceleration for your combat speed and your turning speed. Let's see. The stats have been buffed on this one. You got higher armor points. The penetrative accuracy is at 50%. Your projectile speed is 125. Your reload is a nice reload. So when you add other specials to it, you can probably crank that up pretty high. You get a nice damage percent there with 75%, and you have your anti-missile accuracy too, and it also is retargetable, which is pretty standard, in most missile fleets. However, let's see, this one has, let's see, sorry, I'm on my phone, so it's kind of tough on this one. Nice ship deflection at 900, and a structure deflection. The penetrating defense and corrosive defense is really high. I know a lot of people were comparing this to the mana core. They're like, well, why would I build this when I got mana cores? But if you look at your, your reload buffs and your damage or defense percentages, that's really going to show in the end, you're going to get way less damage, I do believe, than if you tried to strictly stick with your mana core fleets.
Plus Apollos are way more fun to drive than what mana cores are.
Oh yeah, they are. They the old ones, I had so much fun with those, man, because it felt like the first missile fleet that worked like it should. Everything else was kind of slow and clunky, and then we got this thing and we were hauling ass, tagging stuff left and right. So it was pretty cool. So to see the buffs on this, I think it's going to be fun for the people who do build it. And it does have the special abilities, with your accelerate. It will increase your combat speed up to 150%. So as long as you're moving, I mean, you put a big fast engine on there, you're really going to be able to take out targets really fast. Like, they say it's, a high speed assault fleet. So I think it's going to be a lot more user friendly, and even taking out, the assault map targets, and hopefully they'll put in a new leg of the SSRB, where this one, will be a crucial hull for it. So
now, let me ask you something. Up in the stats section where it says weapon weight minus 20%, have we ever seen that on a hull before?
No.
Actually, I missed that. I've never seen that. That's really cool. So you'll be able to put some hardcore stuff on it.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen a negative number.
Yeah, I happened to notice that up there, and I'm like, wow, minus 20% of weapon weight. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, I mean, boat definitely will be fun to drive. It's just a matter of whether you think you're going to have a use for it and finding the time to build it. Is going to be your biggest things. I know when I was looking earlier, I was looking at build times for it, and I think I was coming around 15, 16 days. So I'm like, okay, I'm not sure when I'm going to have time to build that between this raid and next raid, because I know as soon as next raid hits, I'm going to be all worried about building siege boats. So yeah, and there, of course, I suppose if I was one of the lucky few people that had my shipyard 6, maybe that expert build might make a difference at that point, but I'm not one of those people, so.
No.
Oh, let's see. We got the anti-missile proliferation system too. It's just like the one that we had before, only this one only gives a multi-shot of +1, which I thought was kind of meh. I would have thought maybe would have had a +2 or something, but it is what it is. We got 75% on your anti-missile range and 45% on your anti-missile accuracy. So I think that's the biggest anti-missile range buff that we've ever seen. I think normally we were sitting around like 62.5% or something. I think, and with this one we're at 75%. So I think it was a good special. And then we got the weapon.
Yeah, the weapon. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's an anti-penetrating weapon here, so it's got a projectile speed of 450. This one comes with an accuracy of 60%, so it's not too bad either. The range on it does have a dead zone. It's 15 to 30. The reload time is 2, so it comes out with a multi-shot of 2. So you can get a +1 to make it 3. It boosts your corrosive defense 3%. I don't know how much the 3% will help, but when you're talking about using multiple weapons, it's going to help. It does counter UAVs along with missiles, and you cannot use this for remote targeting. With the old Mastodon type things, and it just can't be used. Projectile speed is slow at 250. Accuracy is great at 100. The range is 76. It's pretty standard. Damage is 8,000. Reload time is pretty fast at 4. So that's going to really speed up. It is retargetable, and flak evasion is 80%. So that's very high also. It's a nice weapon.
Yeah, I mean, people who like the Switchblades are going to love this. People who didn't like the Switchblades probably aren't going to like this. That's probably the best way to sum it up. I like when they say the long-awaited successor to the Switchblade. Wonder who was long-awaiting this. I'm not saying there are people. I'm just curious to see who they are.
Right.
Well, I had a Neptune fleet with Switchblades, and it put in some work, man.
Yeah, the one thing I always said about Switchblades was like they're an all or nothing proposition. When you're trying to use them in something like this, you either have to go all Switchblades or no Switchblades, kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it'll be the same for this weapon and this particular setup.
It looks like they ripped Bumblebee's head off from the Transformers. Like, it's pulled it off, and now you're a weapon, dude.
Right.
Yeah, it does kind of. I didn't even notice that till you just said something. So I wonder if we put this on our Apollos, if they'll just like talk by using songs at that point. That'd be awesome. Who's doing the hydrofoil tack shield? Is that me?
Yeah.
It's me. This is just a shard special. You pick up by hitting the higher S targets. You get shards for it. Eventually, when you get when you get it complete, you're going to get explosive defense of 20%, tactical field resistance of 40%, and slow resistance 50%. So, I mean, it'll be pretty good in the current targets that we're using right now. So, yeah, more refits to your fleets that are going. I'm sure everybody's happy about that.
When I looked at this, I thought, that's a strange thing because I'm running that with shielded circuitry. And this looks like a downgrade to me. I mean, I do understand that it comes with the explosive defense at 20%, but when I'm really load that in the final numbers, I'm already so high that's a minimal amount, and then I lose my slow resistance a great deal. I drop from 74 to 50%. I don't like this special at all.
See, I myself, I always think that shielded circuitry is more of a PvP type item that I probably wouldn't want to waste on my PvE stuff. So for people in similar mindset of me, this might be this might be a fit that they could use.
Right. Yeah. Being that the shielded circuitry is a limited thing too.
Yeah, like it seems like everything we get is limited anymore. And Travis, you want to do the atomizer nozzle?
Yeah.
Like just that atomizer thing makes me think about like, okay, were they smoking weed when they made this up? The hydro atomizer, you know, I don't know, just saying.
Yeah. So this one, you know, it's an improved ignition system. It increases your projectile throughout and the accuracy by reducing perpendicular blasts. Sorry, I can't read this. Anyway, it's got it's a tier 7 special. The weapon weight's 20%. It's going to give you buffs to your concussive reload, rocket reload, countermeasure range, and the anti-mortar range is 75%, and that's pretty decent. And the accuracy is 45%, and reload's 30. So I think this one actually could be more useful on a couple of different aspects of the game. You know, you could probably put this on a couple of different style fleets, and it still works. So
well, I know
I'm gonna get this for sure.
I know people too who are running like countermeasure reloader 4 on their fleet right now might actually want to consider swapping over to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is a great. This looks like a great special to me. You know,
Yeah.
in all areas. You know, it's a bonus. It's better than what's out there.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. I think that's a good one. And then we got the Reconstruction Matrix. I'm really interested in this one. It's the newest in our attack mods. And this one actually gives it the heal ability that we've seen throughout the history of PvP and even some in PvE. But this one is strictly for conquerors and defenders, and it has a range of 100. And any friendly ships that are within 100 range of it, it can heal them up 150,000 armor points every 3 seconds. So that seems pretty good to me. You know, it could actually affect you up to 4 targets, so it can heal if all your other guard is within 150 around it, or attackers. You know, I personally am thinking of it more as a defender, but it can definitely use it in attacking holes as well. But everything that's around it within a 100-yard radius will get that 150,000 armor points, health regen every 3 seconds.
So on this where it says you know, transfer efficiency at 90%, like that one makes sense. But is the threshold, is that like a cap, so it can only heal up to 75%?
Correct. It won't heal them past 75%.
But still, I'll take 75% all day long.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
So I know, Ross, you're probably looking at it more as from an attacker's view, where I'm looking for it from a defender's view.
Yeah, in all honesty, my defenders don't get killed still, but my my guard ships really aren't being killed, but my attacking fleet does die. So yeah, definitely for me.
I know for sure I plan on getting all 3 of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we got the CTCO Plate 2. Just like the CTCO Plate 1, only bigger. You know, so you're looking at you're getting 562,000 deflection points of corrosive and concussive. And so yeah, this is you know, you got your equip cap of 2. So people have been waiting on this one for a long time. So you're going to start to see a little, even more variety, I think, of ships that are able to hit bases than what we've already started to see with the introduction of the CTC-01. So it'll be, yeah, I think it'll breathe a lot more variety back into PvP for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And now we just need the 3. And then once the 3 comes out, then we'll have all our armors finally. And then Ross, take it away.
Well, we have the Poseidon Hurricane, where we've talked about it earlier. It's also Forsaken. It's a Conqueror. So this will be not a defending class. It will be attacking hull. It comes with a 2.3 million armor points. It is a flagship only. Now, with this hull, it carries a bonus corrosive range of 23.6, which is a really a good range. Concussive range is plus 12.2%. Concussive and scattergun reload are both 25%. And then a concussive damage and corrosive damage are boosted 45%. It has a corrosive and concussive deflection at 562,144. Which is decent there too. It is tactical field resistant at 50%. It has the standard pass-throughs. The combat speed's 31, turn speed's 30, map speed's 35. So that's just pretty standard speeds along there. Same thing with the weapon slots, armor slots, special slots, all very standard. The same as we've been seeing before. 8 weapon slots and 5 armor. This does have the friendly field effect. So all revenants and witch doctors that are used with this, that are in range of 75, are going to get a boost of 70,000 concussive and corrosive deflection. So that's going to be a really helpful boost. And then they're going to get also a boost in concussive and corrosive damage of 35%. Now, I don't know how it's really going to work out on the numbers. I haven't done the math, but this looks like it looks like a good hull to me. It comes stock with the corrosive deflection, which is required basically for me to look at a hull hitting a base these days.
And see, I have no flagships for PvP, so this one's definitely going to be on my list. And even if it wasn't useful, where I'm an artist, they put a trident on the front, and it's Poseidon. So the trident being on the hull itself, that was a nice touch. It just looks cool.
Right.
Now, see, that's something I probably would have never even noticed, never even thought of if you hadn't pointed it out. But I think the people who like the previous ones, like the Vanguard, and I forget what the name of the other one was. But if you like the previous flagships, then this guy's probably for you. If you didn't like the previous flagships, then this guy's probably not for you. And I think the last slide we had was just something I ran across and I thought it was kind of funny. So they have where you can build this, you can buy this one Tideseeker for 31 coins that you have in game already. You don't have to buy it, put out any additional money for it. But what I found interesting was they said it had a 1,300 gold value. So I went in the shipyard. Shane and I were on the hangout when we did this. Went on the shipyard. We actually put together the build in the shipyard, and it came up to 581 gold. And with the way they've just recently done all the reductions for buying rank, I can guarantee you it does not cost you 700 gold to buy legendary skull rank anymore. So just, that number was a little bit misleading. And I think it's really weird too that you can only buy one of these. What the hell good is one gonna do me? If you're gonna put this in, at least make it so I can buy freaking 4 or 5 of them. I mean, what is buying one Tideseeker going to do for me?
Didn't they have another offer? It was like $5 for like the Harlock and 4 others. So you're
Yeah.
like $2 more and you get the full fleet. I mean, come on,
Uh-huh.
guys. It's
Yeah.
like they're messing with us, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, so I wanted to go over that. I thought it was kind of funny. But I think that's it for slides. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Have y'all figured out any tactics? Like, I know you talked about going up to the top, but is there, anything with your razor tails that you found that a certain path or direction, like going away from or rushing on top of them, helps or hinders?
I'll be honest. I haven't used a whole lot of tactics and strategies this raid because I'm using razor tails, which are pretty short range to begin with. So it's just kind of like bull rush them, stay on top of them, you know.
That's what I'm doing too. I do have 5 of those anti-torps on the fleet, on my fleet. So, and I just try to run them, stay on them. I hate when I almost have them killed and they get out of my range. So my main goal is just to run them down.
Yeah. And see, that's what I used to do with the bat race, but in the 106, the Proto Nemesis now has the Hellacious scatter guns coming at you and or rockets or whatever they are. And I don't have Hyper 30, so like Shane's fleet's like 70 some 76, 77 miles an hour. Well, mine's 56. So it was definitely tuned for a faster fleet because I'm getting hammered. Because before I could, rush up on them, and before they did their EMP blast, I would bounce out. Yeah, I can't do that now.
Right.
Well,
Well,
that's unfortunately that's the only response I have to that because I don't have bat race. I'm not really sure what else to say.
The only thing that can help me with them is, I think, is the remote raiders because it adds 30% combat speed, and that'll get me up fast enough to where I can, escape some of that splash.
right. So that might help you a lot. And then just don't dock.
Yeah. If I don't, even if I can roll one, though,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've
Now,
got.
I had heard there was something going on earlier today, and I don't know if it's still working or not. But you could go in a target, and the interdictors would be firing smart torpedoes. But then if you retreated and then went back in the target, that they wouldn't be firing smart torpedoes anymore. So I'm not sure if that was something that fixed or if that was just like a weird glitch that happened. But I had heard rumors that was going on earlier today.
Hmm.
So I mean, worth checking out. The worst thing that happens is it costs you a retreat. I mean, whoop de doo.
Right.
And from a designer's point of view, they done good on countering our previous tactics. The way they set it up, like where I was circling, the Nighthawks. Now, when the first one comes in, on the 104, that Proto Nemesis is firing it immediately. So I honestly have to bounce out away from all of that stuff and then let it come on down instead of trying to get it where it's at. They done really well on challenging us as players, like with changing minor tactics in the targets and the setups of them. I do believe it hurts more,
Yeah.
but it's interesting.
I was gonna say, yeah. I would prefer because we already know they up the damage. So like I would prefer either leave the damage the same and make us have to adapt in tactics, or leave the tactics the same and up the damage. I hate it when they do both up together.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's like I don't mind. Well, no, I'm not going to say that because that would be terrible. And I said it in my head and thought the way that would sound when I said it out loud, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that.
One thing I think they should do in raids is in the lowest tier possible, put in just, I don't know, maybe like 10 hours or 15 hours or something of repair tokens at a cheap price for margin of error, because when the raids progress, our tactics and our learning curve has to progress, and those first few runs can put you out for a while if you're not willing to coin it. So I think if they would just give just a little bit, enough for you, if you make a mistake, you know what you did, so you use that token, and you better not damn do it again. Otherwise, it's your own fault.
True. Although honestly, if you did the campaign that's running right now, if you did it last time and you do it this time, you probably have gotten enough tokens that you could potentially build like 3 fleets of Tide Seekers.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I screwed up and I killed one. That's okay. I got 2 more.
Yeah. That's what I did with the Skyfires. I had like 9 of them. So if I miss, one of them took way too much damage, I just pull it out and throw another one in, and have it repairing. So
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I guess in a messed up kind of way they did that, but as opposed to repair tokens, they're just like, well, here have like 25 of the holes, and then as you mess up, just rotate them in and out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I feel very low pressure this raid. I don't know if it's just me. There's just not a ton of stuff that I'm like, oh, I have to have that. Oh, I have to have that. I have to sit here and grind out all these massive amount of points for the entire weekend. And I like that. That's what I like to see out of events that I can play and spend some coin if I want, but not feel like I'm being forced to spend some coin. And I can also play like a leisurely raid if I want to, and not feel like I'm having to like cram my entire weekend with raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do totally agree, because I mean, like my case, I went and busted out 100 million in 2 hours by choice, because I just don't want to grind it out all weekend, and I'll probably honestly do it another 2 hours at some point, and double the points. But I'm looking at that. That's 4 hours total to me in the raid time. That's a good raid.
Oh yeah. Which I'll spend a little more time on it, because I've always been a driver, so I like trying different things. A lot of times it hurts me in the long run, but it's worth trying at least. But I like putting in some time, but I don't like feeling like I'm forced to spend the entire raid grinding to get these crucial pieces. If I don't get it, then I'm hurting myself in the long run. This one feels like there's tech there that can accelerate me, but not hinder me at the same time if I don't get it all.
I agree.
I'm just keep on talking amongst yourself, guys. I'm gonna go out and target.
Well, I totally agree with that statement. I think that almost all of these prizes are great for players to catch up on. The new items, I don't think, are required items. And I'm someone, and because I hated the Apollo. I know people either love them or they hate it. I built one in the beginning, one ship, and tried it out and decided that's just not for me. I hated it, and I never built the hull again. I suffered for a little while, and that was just fine. When those mega hull came out, where you attack those for the uranium, but I didn't care. I ended up working around it, and I built a different fleet for them. And so I'm going to get this, and I'm just not, I don't think I'll be building it. I have other fleets that still will be able to get me titanium. So I think I'll probably stick with that, unless I have some token offers to build this fleet. Then I will.
Let's talk about these unkillable interdictors for a minute. My God, these things take a lot of damage to kill.
Yeah, they are tough.
I know it takes. I have whale on those things to be able to kill them.
Did you do the retreat thing and re-enter?
No, I didn't do the retreat thing. I'll try that in the next target.
Okay.
But it's like the Proto Apollo, like I have 2 mana cores finished and 2 with weapons and specials and no armor, and I still need a 5th. I don't have the flag, and I'm finding myself in a similar situation. Like when I come back, I needed the chore fleet, so I was like, all right, I need the prototypes, and I was able to get them fairly easy. I can't remember if it's a TLC or raid or whatever, but anyway, I unlocked them, and I built 5 blanks because they build really fast, and then I got 2 done, and then the next thing I know, I got my bat raised, and it just, was way better than anything that I seen on all the YouTube videos. Like I could do everything but the prototypes. So I essentially wasted several days, building blanks and a couple full ships that I don't even use. So I think with the Proto Apollo, that's going to be a similar situation for me, because I think it's going to be, obviously better than, trying to grind out these map targets with the mana cores, which take a lot longer. So I think it'll reduce the chore aspect. Like I can take my bat rays or the out to get uranium. Currently, I was using Skyfires until they changed it, so I was able to get titanium. So, and it was easy, and it didn't feel like a chore. If I could send it out and have it auto and come back, decent damage, and I could fill up, yeah, I'll do that while I'm hitting the base or, doing my FM. It don't feel like a chore then, if it's a capable fleet. So I think it'll be a good fit in the position I am coming back and not having all the holes.
Right.
But I've been wrong before.
No, I mean, it looks like a great hull. I don't think it's going to I don't know, but I plan on it performing well. It's just that at 16 days per ship, when I have a couple of fleets already that do the same, give me the same resource.
Yeah.
I'm looking at build time as coin, and that's just I'm not willing to give up over 60 days in build time for a little bit better, for even a lot better, really. I'll just hit down.
Yeah, that is the one big thing that really hurts on that fleet is that build time. I mean, that's a long time, when you could be doing other stuff.
I'd say real quick, I'm not usually a great big fan of conspiracy theories. But boy, they really upped the damage, but boy, they apparently have tweaked something.
Yeah.
Because I took like twice as much damage in that target, actually probably over twice as much damage in that 106 as what I normally do. When I was doing it with a Grease Monkey, I was doing it for like 39 minutes. And now I just hit that one with a Midnight Marauders crew, and I got like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So even accounting for the damn it, I forgot to retreat again. Even accounting for the half repair time, that's still way, way more than what I was taking earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
But one thing I did notice, the Brennus Bat Ray, the bowler jets. For me, dude, that is awesome. Like I decimate those Nighthawks, but I've seen a lot of people on Discord saying, "Oh, they ain't doing nothing. They're just barely." Well, I can clearly see. I was running circles for a minute or two to kill them. Now I can take them out in like 10, 20 seconds, dude. It's awesome.
Well, I know Shane. Me and Shane were on the hangout earlier, and he said he had 2 of them in that thing, and he didn't see him doing anything.
Well, it may be buggy, or maybe something where it's not working all the time. But I mean, I clearly could see it. I mean, I took them out like nothing.
The Neil in chat said he tried the retreat trick and it did not work.
I'm about to try it too. So
on my I'm noticing my my speed up circles on my Razor Tail fleet now is definitely. The chances of it firing straight in front of me are about slim to zero. I don't know what has changed. I did notice that has changed for me. it's now it doesn't fire in front; it fires at an angle. And
yeah, mine has never fired always in front of me. It's always just kind of like, you know, trying to hang on to a full tilt fire hose by yourself and just kind of spraying all over the place, you know.
Pray and pray.
Yeah, it's just it's not in the direction you're wanting to go. That's for sure. And then I noticed also there's a couple little things you do fire at that aren't there. You know?
Yeah, I noticed that.
And so I didn't know what was going on at those points either. There's nothing there several times in each target in the you fire, and there's nothing there. So I didn't know.
Have you guys have you been keeping an eye on your anti-torpedo countermeasures and seeing how they're working or if they're working?
Yeah, mine are. I got like 4 on right now, and I think I got 4 Gale 4s and 4 Cormorants, and they're definitely working. Like I can take out like a whole barrage like that. I can sit right under it, dude, and take all of them out. But now that they've added, you know, those scatters or whatever to it, that negates that ability that I have, because, you know, it's countered by another damage type. It's like, so it's like, dang, I replaced one thing to help it, and then they immediately come in and counter the tech that they had put out, which is kind of good because that means it's not crucial as a lot of people thought it was. But it does work for sure.
I know for me, there's a lot of times where it's hard to tell whether my anti-torque countermeasures are doing anything because there's so much crap going on in the target at the same time. You know, you got ice fields, you got fire fields, you got shit explosions, rockets going off everywhere. But every now and then I'll get out to where there's like not much going on, and I'll be like, okay, now I can see, yes, my anti-torques are definitely doing something.
And see, I have the countermeasure layer 4, so, you know, I have the extended range, so I can see it a lot better because I have more space to see them coming in.
Right.
And they fire at them sooner, so. But they seem to work really well. I mean, you'll see them just hammering, like, you know, the salvos, and you know, it does work, but
yeah, I would say they work great because I in my tactic I just charge bull rush full on, and I'm taking a lot less damage than I would have without them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either my driving has gotten absolutely atrocious in the past 2 hours, or they have definitely done some damage adjustments.
Well, that's kind of I knew that was going to go down. I mean. That's just how it works out in this game. So that was part of my reason on the immediate the 2 hour spurt for the 100 million. I'm glad I did that.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, there you go. So that was me half-ass doing an S set for you guys to just see how I do it. But all right, well, I guess we're probably gonna call it there then. Yeah.
Cool.
You good with that, Rob?
Yeah, really good.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks, guys, for coming out and watching us. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, send your friends to the page if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, shame on you. This is Dirk the Daring signing off until Saturday. Hi, Vikes. You got here just in time for us to log off.
Go figure, huh?
He did say he was going to be really late.
Yeah, he did say that.
Come in and style.
Anyway, we'll talk to you guys Saturday. We'll be doing a roundtable, so we'll talk to you then. All right, later.
Good night, everyone.
All right.